Hello, and welcome to another board video. I'm calling this deck Green White Dredge, and it's an idea mostly with cards that have been around like a little while. Town Breeder from Final Fantasy, is a decent improvement, I think, to this deck. So maybe it's something that you couldn't have done before, but mostly, it's nothing particular. New cards. So I'm going to basically split the deck into 8 piles of things. Let's just move some cards around. So we're playing 8 Satyr wayfinders. We've not got towns for this, between gates instead. The point is, 2 mana creature, flip over a bunch of cards from the graveyard, ideally find a land. We're only playing 18 lands, so we are going to miss on this unfortunate amount of the time, but there's a lot of other stuff that I want to have access to in the deck, so this seems like hopefully a high enough hit rate. Then we're playing the big idea is the 4 evolution plus 4 Tethmos High Priest. So the deck kind of really starts on 3. The point is that when you stick one of these, they are very powerful, and then between Homestead Courage and Travel Prep, there's 8 kind of flashbackable things that you can mill over with the Satyr Wayfinder that trigger either one of these, and then this is kind of going to be your engine, your card advantage, inevitability. I kind of figure it almost plays quite a lot like Tortured Existence, where it's very mana intensive, but once you get going, you are kind of pretty stable. Tethmos High Priest is probably the better one in that it can return these for free. 1 mana, put back a Town Greeter is better than 1 mana, put counter on this, put Town Greeter in your hand, replay Town Greeter. The Evolution Witness can get back High Priest, or, get back other Evolution Witnesses and the like. That's supported by kind of mono white reading or white gates, kind of graveyard creature package, so Lunar Veterans, Cats, and Bounce creatures. Obviously, these 8 very good against red decks, these very good against like fairies and the like. Recommission is kind of one of my pet cards, works very well with Evolution Witness. You 2 mana, make a 3/2, pick up a permanent from your graveyard because it comes with a counter. Obviously also works with the High Priest, also works very well when you're milling over a bunch of your graveyard with these. And then this is kind of a later edition. Previously I was playing Thraben Charms in this slot, but looking at 2 mana creatures that are very good to recur a bunch of times, Accursed Marauder is kind of top of the list. So we've got 2 of them in the main deck. We've not got that many black sources, we've got the 6 gates. Obviously you can find them relatively frequently with the Wayfinder with the Greeters. And if we're returning from the graveyard with the Tethmos Cycle, we don't need to actually have mana to cast them. Going on to the sideboard, this is kind of a mission I don't really have much of a plan. I put in a bunch of low missionaries. It's the best thing to recur against mono red. If they're actually on the ping a red version, I think you'd probably want a different effect than this, but whatever. This is very loose. Standard Bearer gives you game against boggles. Also, I really like it against elves. If you can turn off their, Timberwatch elf, then you actually stand a decent chance. They can still make a huge trampling Nyxborn Hydra, kill you with that, but this gives you some game. Another Accursed Marauder for, where matchups where it's good, it's probably very good. Scourge Archer against fairies, Nightshade Peddler. If we're just trying to gum up the ground, imagine if all these had Death Touch and they kept coming back. That seems like it could be annoying. And then final one, I want some graveyard hate, and again I'm going to stick to this idea that it wants to be a 2 mana creature so that we can recur it a bunch of times. The other option would be something like a Fairy Macabre that we could put in the graveyard, pick up the Evolution Witness, but Fairy Macabre can get itself hit with Mesmeric Fiend from like the Spidex, whereas if these are in play, I don't think the Spidex is very good at removing them. Can you get 2 of these in play, because they tend to run 2 trolls with their 2 dread returns? Can you get 2 of these in play before the Spidex does its thing? I think that's probably unlikely, but we're going for it anyway. It's just a cool card. I think it's, I don't know, I like it. But yeah, realistically, I think probably some out of these 7 just want to be more Thraben charms, and possibly even the peddlers as well. Again, we'll see whether we get to do the big engine of the deck, but ideally, Homestead Courage Priest, flip a Town Greeter into play, then moves over another Homestead Courage. I've had some games that have gone pretty nuts at this. I've done one league I went 4-1 with it, one league I went 2-3, and this will be my third. And this is the first one where I've made the changes with the Accursed Marauders and so on, the Block Splash. Right, let's see how it goes. So we're on the draw in round 1, we've got a Town Greeter, we're going to keep Town Greeter in a Dream. And 6, 5 to 4. Opponent stop. Which will be very embarrassing if we lose the first game after opponent moves to 4. And they're on Tron. So we might actually just not do anything enough for Tron to just beat us. I have now put some Accursed Marauders on my deck, so I'll choose black for this. Because we've got so many forests already. Shouldn't matter too much. Well, as far as Tron doing Tron stuff, they've got the pieces. Do we want to slam a Greeter or play a cat on another tap hand? I think I'm just going to play the cats and play this as a green-white duel. Don't need that many black pips. Again, getting gates in play with the Basilisk gate's good, so it does mean that we might be unlikely to find something to do with our 3rd mana next turn, but yeah, probably should play the Greeter. Slightly more efficient. So let's greet now. See what we see. As we find another tap land. And then next turn we can go nuts a bit with the screeching. I'm just going to play the gate, or do I want to? I don't really want to Homestead Courage. Just sit our gates all the way down. That's us. So we can flashback one of the screeches using the cat. It'll be another turn before we get to do anything with the one that's currently in the graveyard. They have a terror. I think we are definitely benefiting from the opponent's moved 4, in that they've got Tron, but they're just slightly limited on things to do. But we'll take those. We're not really doing our thing too much. We're just playing some weird, green, white, dirtly gatesy thing at the minute, which isn't like an absolutely terrible place to be, but it's obviously not great. It's not like the right home about power level, but again, I think that's kind of this deck. The point of it is it's never going to be incredibly powerful face up, like some decks can be. It's just trying to be resilient and get there eventually. Patient. So that's kind of on the way to doing that. That's our first way of, assembling a combo with all these courages. But I'm not sure that is better than just screeching some more. I'm not going to play around, you know, if they have anything, it's likely to be Clan Shaman. So we don't actually have like a rally or anything in our deck to speed up our clock in this kind of situation. But we've got the gate, but nothing to combo with going wide. And next turn we can kind of do a thing with Evolution Witness and we'll over some more cards. So confirmed they are the Tron. Have they got it all? It might not, but see this squires too to try and find it. Let's go to the top. So obviously this draws into the Mirror Retriever. They've assembled a loop. No, they rumble and myth. If they'd have found, they could have set the spawn tokens for mana for a guy. This means they've got one more look from what I can see. And then we're reliant on postboard having some graveyard hate in them. So we can't actually, we can witness, get back some stuff, but we can't actually do Accursed Marauder things. So I guess we'll start with Greeter from hand. I'm not going to be killing them anytime soon. And with these Eviscerator's Insights, they're going to draw a bunch more cards to try and hit their kind of other Mirror Retriever combo bit. Not that fussed about mana gate, but land is land. Guess we greet again. If we find again, I think we're likely to die next turn, but this gives us the shot of milling over an Accursed Marauder. We basically want to maximise our looks at that. There's 2 in the deck, I think. Or Basilisk Gate's kind of fine. But we can travel back for 2 power or just get a veteran back. I'm just going to get the veteran, we don't have anything. I'm not going to pretend. So yeah, they have a ton of mana. Insights here. Okay, there's a Mirror Retriever. That would be 1, 2. So upon when it moved to 4, we just did derpy creature great gates thing. Not the best you've ever seen. We want a bunch of Crypt Keepers to interact with their combo. We don't actually have any other particularly useful things. I guess I'll have an Accursed Marauder because of their Packdoll Terrors. What don't we want? I guess maybe the Blue Knight Veterans. Maybe veteran's still better than the cat. I think that's fine. So yeah, we've got a bit more disruption for what they're doing. Can't imagine this is a great matchup for us. I'm beginning to think I should have veterans, not cats, but I think it's, pretty close. So keep this. I think I've probably got more green spells than white spells, so I'll do opponent money again. It might just be that they kind of identify that they, their deck mulligan as well. I think that's still very lucky for us. So green, white, white, black. No, sorry. White, green, green, black. And then turn 2 will, almost take the turn off to play the Wayfinder. I think that's still true. So we'll take the untapped land. So we can even recommission this High Priest now. Don't have anything in the graveyard to combo with it. But still just not a bad tempo play. Do we want to cat or get a black source? I think we want a black source. Yes, the recommission is just net mana there, isn't it? And then, if we can, they have worked out that we're doing something graveyard. I don't think they knew about the priest. But, so we can just travel prep these two, bring back the cat. Part of me wants to just put the Marauder in the bin, but that's just bad. I think I'm gonna go again. We'll gain a bit of life this time. Is that better? Do we want to be able to have like up to 3 power? If we get up to 4 power, it can attack through what do you call it? Pipe Dom. I think again, quite likely that we sack this to the Accursed Marauder. So we can bring it back with something and get a bit of value. Okay, so opponents tried mulligan into 4 and 1. They mulligan to 5 and lost, so the trick for them is to go back down to 4. And that's my advice. So yeah, we kind of did a thing. It wasn't the most powerful. We kind of ran out of ways to flip things over into a graveyard, otherwise, yeah. If the cat with a Satyr Wayfinder effect, we could have gone again with the other travel prep. Be amazed if we managed to win this. Be amazed if our sideboard cards actually came good. Opponent rules. I'm going to keep. We've got a Town Breacher and a Dream. Don't have a white source. Won't have a white source until turn like 4 by the looks of things. Well, that's good time. So white black here. We have 6 of the tap plants that can be black sources in the deck, so we are quite reliant on drawing them, on returning them normally. But again, we see quite a hit cards with the greeters. Oh wow. I'm gonna, obviously the Crypt Keeper will kind of be sorcery speed, that we actually play it. I'm guessing we just take the planes. Just kind of if in doubt, untap lands. Maybe the Basiliskate's better, but in this instance play 2 cats or cat in the travel prep. And if I do well, they alter, sack the Mirror Retriever. So I'm kind of looking at just playing the Crypt Keeper now. And then we've got mana to do 1 cat. All the other options we just play a Witness. I wonder if they ever block. So they just chose not. They were doing it like they were going to block and then sack, but they took 1 extra damage. So we can eat their stupid Mirror Retriever and just drop a cat. So I've probably mentioned this by now, but the Crypt Keeper is, the idea is that it can't, you can hold a fairy in the card, but that can get Mesmeric Fiendage once this is in play. You can't kill it. Is that relevant? Who knows? Is that good? Probably not. You can make me discard a card. So it's probably the Evolution Witness. Seeing none of the other cards do anything. Not the Evolution Witness does a ton, but ooh, hello. So that is a Battle Screech. And then obviously the travel prep kind of sets us up to be able to get back the Crypt guy. Do just love these like Pauper Graveyard, like Rube Goldberg machine, just pick up some value here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, in our next turn we'll be exiling the Mirror Retriever, probably putting a counter on this and just a bird token so we can get in. be medium concerned about a clan shaman. Maybe I should have exiled in response to this, because now if they can sacrifice this, they can pick up the other mirror retriever in response. With it being travel prep, we do actually have 2 bites at the apple to exile. It's not the end of the world, but it was definitely better to do it before they had the ability to sack this and pick it up. I don't know what this is going to be. Actual scatter shot. Okay, pick targets. Okay, there's only 3, so they're just killing this guy. Well, that's a shame. We played that land for the turn now. So on this, I think we hold the Crypt Keeper again. And then I think we do just double pump. We can attack with everybody at the Keeper. No. Obviously, much more exciting if we had the High Priest, but the travel prep is still 4 damage. I mean, 4 damage for 4 mana is not. Still not great, but it's not nothing. This is 9. Maybe we should have attacked the Crypt Keeper, but I feel like I'd rather be able to hold it up than. So the point of holding it up is that we wait for them to choose a target with this mirror retriever before we sack and exile something else. It's just worse if we decide we want to sacrifice first, right? As long as we're responding, it's fine. So they have this represent, sorry, try and get back in the mirror retriever. Obviously we exile the mirror retriever. I would think in that spot I would probably choose a different target and keep the mirror retriever as a valuable thing, and then put us in a bind do we want to exile the other thing. But obviously it depends what they have. Makes sense that they might just want to blow that off the board. I'm taking this maybe they do have another mirror retriever in hand. Okay. We don't do damage very well, so oh. I've used the double white mana quite a few times, but a Vassal Escape would be pretty handy. We could attack with all the cats to get an extra 2 points of damage in. I'm gonna stay back. Don't really have a great reason why. I think realistically 2 points of damage is the best we're gonna get. But I mean, I guess we could have we could draw an Accursed Marauder. That would make sense. So we reassemble Crypt Keeper as our layer of protection. Evolution Witness has got to be our best roll. Maybe Bassus gets only 1 or 2 gates. Accursed Marauder's not bad. Accursed Marauder or Evolution Witness. Still think Evolution Witness is probably better. But those are the two. Let's see if I'm having a bit of a think. Homestead Courage. That's a bit more damage. That's a shock. Can't fault a shock. I think getting these. So the idea is now we can attack for getting for 10. Maybe we even attack with this because we can just target the Mirror Retriever. Yeah, that seems right. Oh, not our graveyard. After your Mirror Retriever. So there's only 2 more in your deck. Obviously there's the 4-mana Mayor that can tutor. But it might be dead. Just dead. Wow. Okay, the Crypt Keepers did exactly what they didn't say on the tin, right? They weren't great, but they were cycle cards. Right, so we are back. This hand doesn't have a Satyr Wayfinder. I'm going to keep anyway, just to demonstrate the importance of only keeping hands with Satyr Wayfinders. Fairies seems like it's probably pretty rough. Might be a bit of a Battle Screech or bust. So we've got the first one. So obviously White Weenie is quite a good matchup like into fairies because of Battle Screech. You can block up the ninjas on the ground pretty well. So this one wants to be green. And it attacks with like intruders and so on, but it could be snapping like that. What a hater. Then playing ninja. No buddy, let me show you a Tethmos High Priest. That's snappable. Okay, let me show you 2 Tethmos High Priests. Opponent, I'd like to think, sinks into their chair a bit. It's like, what? This is a reader. Especially on turn 3 when we've got nothing in our graveyard. They're just like, is it 2-3? Oh. It's a Militia Bugler that's missed already? Going back to the White Weenie analogy there. They've finished reading, they've worked out what's going on. Well, I'm going to block. If this is a mutagenic, I'm just going to be sad. I hate mutagenic within fairies. Like, maybe I should have just known that that's the only thing that makes sense, but you know, I've tried playing Pharaohs with Jenny growth and it was terrible. Why is it that when other people do it, it's really good against me? So, if I can play around spell stutter still, I will. Which I think means we're just playing another priest. So this could be counterspelled, but... And then we'll pick black for this one, will we? Do we just let this rot in our hand to get another green source down? I think we have to pick black. So the Lunar Veteran might now be the spell stutter food, but at least a Screech lets us do some trades. Oh, that's a lot of ninjas. So many ninjas that actually getting a okay, so spell stutter, the way is clear for spell stutter for this turn, but we can't really capitalise. What's the Lunar Veteran Evolution Witness? Just immediately dead to snap. Otherwise, take a million, take like 7 again, back down. Go back down to 3. And the payoff is that we would maybe be able to. Yeah, it's just not there, is it? The downside to this line is that the likelihood of us getting 3 white creatures in play again is very low. Yeah, I guess we just don't block and get blown out by the meteoric growth. Like, what else are they ever attacking with? Like, it's basically a semi-bluff with a intruder, right? Just clear up the board a bit. I'm going to leave this home and make it a 3-3. If those resolve. I kind of like leaving this home. Let's just get out of here. So, sideboard-wise, definitely want the scatter shots. Don't think we want to worry about black mana. Just being monocolored is definitely going to be easier. And then I'm trying to work out whether I want standard bearers. I think I do, just to have some, like, surely there's something that these are better than. Just thinking that they let us, like, trade our 1/1s for their 1/1s. Yeah, trade our 1/1s for their stuff. They soak up the intruders, mutagenic growth, snaps. And what we're cutting. We don't need 3. Cut like a travel prep on a flyer seems pretty nice too, though. Cut like a cat on a travel prep. I'm not sold on that. I don't. It's a shame. I like the idea of standard bearer, but I don't really want to cut anything else on the kind of engine-y stuff. For such a weird deck, feels like there's not actually that much room. Yeah, it takes ages to work out what's going on here. So, Tangruter's High Priest, Cats. It's not got a what do you call it? It's not a quick hand, and it's not got a Battle Screech. But That's the point of milling over the deck. Don't have to worry about picking black anymore. And obviously we will be respecting, what's it called? Respecting mutagenic with this time. We've learned our lesson. Happy to kind of throw the cat or even the greeters into spell stutter. I'm not happy about it, but if we had an untapped third land, I would be happy. As is, if they don't have a fairy and just tank pass 2 mana, guess we just hit a Delgate passing. Sit Delgate? Okay. So with them, what was I thinking? I don't know why I said that this change if I had an untapped third mana. So I can attack if they intrude. Then I can High Priest and maybe get my card back from my snaps. That seems fine. The High Priest is a bit valuable. I don't really want to run it into a... Yeah, this is good with me. I don't want to run the High Priest into a counter spell. And it's my only kind of spell stutter safe play. You just love a mutagenic growth, don't you? This is the problem. I don't know how many there are, but now that I've seen one, I just can't block anything anymore. So, knock yourself out. Look, spell sorcery. Go on. Yep. But what if it came back? So take Basilisk Gate. This gets counter. So we can now block one power guys. Make another green white tool. Oh, yeah, miss an attack. That's not great. So even if they counter the courage, we still make our guy back. Am I okay with just, like, a block here, they intrude, maybe they don't get to do anything else? Yeah, like, knock yourself out. It stops you picking up the spell stuff for a lot of time, yeah? You've kind of got the... So you kind of called the bluff. So... I mean, we could Greta first, but... I think they almost don't understand... I don't think this works how they think it's going to work. I think we have a Scattershot Archer. That is, he can't counter this. Doesn't matter if this resolves. Am I going to... I was going to say, am I going to give them a greeter as well? I'm almost tempted not to, and just mush with the Basilisk Gate. What? Now I'm confused. Bind the monsters? If you're... Okay, we'll go to our second main and everything, just for what it's worth, if it is worth anything. So we can attack. One is very many mutagenic growths away. It's 2 mutagenic growths away. Fine. Fine. Don't want to get got by 2 mutagenic growths. Maybe I should have played the... I don't know, because the other land was a gate anyway. I guess it just gates all the way down, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a Scatter Archer. Like, maybe they could, unable to scream or something, turn the power off. We can pick up their spell stutter. We've got the cat with a million gates to give it a flank. We're a white creature away from Power Screech. Yeah, did the thing. That was fun. So just run it back. My boy just gets me out of so many binds. Just don't have to worry about like so many things. But I think it is right that we just do what we're set up to do instead. You know, every standard bearer that you mill over is a well, not the first one, because the actual turn one is quite nice. Oh, turn one Scatter Archer. You'd love to see it. Don't have enough lands to play anything, but we do have turn one Scatter Archer. Do they counter it? We recommission. We have recommissions for days. I just want to block. Just love blocking. So what's the plan? We're just playing the cat? Because if we were worried about regenerate growth last time, we were worried about it this time. We're not going to homestead courage our guy. Keep this tapped so they can't play any 1-drops. The 1-drop flies. We're going to draw another card, and then hopefully the shields will be up. So we could homestead courage our cat. This is slightly better than playing the other one. Thinking that then we don't get them both in the graveyard at the same time cheaply. Fairies doesn't tend to need to play much graveyard removal. Yet again, unable to attack into an intruder. Oh, so we are just getting intruded this turn as well, aren't we? That's annoying. I'm going to attack. Am I? I'm going to attack. They intrude and block. That's fine. They intrude and mutagenic growth. The mutagenic growth's gone. We can like look at recommissioning our next turn, for example. Double intruders a bit. Yeah. Okay. So the coast was clear. We just let them flip a ninja for no reason. Put a ninja into play for no reason. They're bouncing our cat. Maybe they just don't have any fairies this time. Maybe they drew the non-fairy side of their deck. I'm still not going to block. It's reasonable that it's not that they didn't just kill that guy with mutagenic growth, because it's higher value to get us to throw away this. This could be holding back the fort very well. So Sacred Cat doesn't trade with anything because of the stupid intruder. Putting Evolution Witness in play uses up more mana. Okay, that's kind of fine. We're still on the recommission Evolution Witness plan. Opponents just draw a million cards because we had the fear of mutagenic growth put into us. The problem is that because we didn't block, mutagenic growth is still so good. Whereas if we had just blocked, we could have recommissioned on turn 2. Obviously, we didn't know that we weren't going to be able to play out our hand, kind of thing. So just play a cat. Playing the cat gives us something to evolution to get back if the recommission resolves. We just recommission. This way we can block the Moon Circuit hacker. We are running out of time. Kind of need another white source, or it's going to bust. Don't want the opponent to be thinking about snapping. Can't be a snap. So I'm still on just have the fear in me. Because now they've drawn so many cards to find another one. Oh, we're dead to the mutagenic growth, that's funny. Pew pew. Yeah, so I think the problem was we should have blocked turn 1, turn on their turn 2, and then recommissioned if they had that. The problem is if they mutagenic growth and have a spell stutter, we can't. Oh no, sorry, if they mutagenic growth, because it's cost 2 mana, then not 1 for the spell stutter. Yeah. So I think that the third game was winnable. It would depend on what they had. But yeah, this is the downside of the deck when it doesn't hit a Satyr wayfinder effect and don't get your lands. You do need a kind of balance of cards. Right, so back for round 3. Now this hand is an absolute stinker. Even I've got a mulligan there. Just oof. So we'll put back one of the planes. Never water 5. Tron again. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, I'll just play my white 1-drops. This Tron as well. I will choose green first, I think. I should have just attacked. They never block. This doesn't, gaming life doesn't do anything for me. Yep. think we've just... I know it's not much. It's what we've got. So black. In for 4. So we've missed 1 point. 1 point's not the end of the world. Obviously dead to another mirror retriever and a backdoor. That's a mirror retriever and a backdoor. I don't have another black source yet. But we can't actually interrupt this. Like we play the Accursed Marauder, set the mirror retriever. Get back the mirror retriever. Oh, they chose the mirror retriever. I guess they get back the backdoor later. I could pass with mana up, but it's a bit late here, so we're just gonna get out here. Alright, back to this part. What did I cut last time? I think I cut the veterans and said it should have been cats. The idea there is just that we can get gummed up on the ground, whereas the disturb is a bit nicer than the embalm. The embalm is cheaper and the battle screech is what really matters. But let's give it a go. So opponent will put us correctly on just like some gatesy creature decks and we'll have their squeakers in again. This opponent, do they keep 7? And we would have been not. Our first round opponent was much kinder, much more generous. So can't keep 1 lander. We are only running 18 lands, so it's going to happen some other time. I think this is worse than most of our 7 landers were, because at least if they drew the land they would get there. So we're going to go down to 4. Okay. So we're going to keep this 4. We're going to put back man, that's just rough. If I keep these and basically just say fine, try and beat us if we've got to try and find the 3rd and 4th mirror retriever, I think that's worse than trying to draw a green source and doing something that the deck does. Maybe I should have kept the High Priest then over this as well. The plan is like find a green source or a white source and just do the thing. Cool. Yeah, so now we need to actually find so we've got a back source, let's see the gate. If this was a High Priest, we wouldn't actually have anything to return with it. So. Oh, hello. And this is the white size, so we can't even cast this. I guess we can adapt it. So we've drawn out of our multiple pretty well, considering, again, the limitations of the cards we put in our deck. I'm going to adapt this, get back the High Priest. Play this as a white-black duel. Smoosh for 5. I generally maybe should have just got back the Basilisk because I could recommission this back anyway. No, but the recommissioning list doesn't actually return it to hand. Okay, so we can attack for 5, they block, get back a thing, but it does give them Tron. But then we get to Crypt Keep away their guy. The alternative is we take a turn off from attacking, play the High Priest, because all our white mana and black mana's tied up together, which is really awkward. I think I'm going to give them Tron and return exile a Mirror Retriever. What's it do? It basically clears, because I need to clear this to win eventually anyway. Yeah. There's some potential that I'm supposed to, like, play the Crypt Keeper first and then exile one of these if they target it. But I think that actually giving them the information we have the Crypt Keeper, you know, they could then choose not to block and do it and play differently. So I'd rather just try and focus on getting the Retriever. And then we get to put this in play. And it assembles Tron. See, I think a Plains was probably up there with our best draws. So that we can exile the Mirror Retriever and put the Crypt Keeper back into play. That doesn't really do the same thing. We can travel prep, get back a Basilisk Gate and then play the High Priest still. So, too sleepy, but I was getting distracted. I could have just exiled the Mirror Retriever, recommissioned our Crypt Keeper back straight away. And there's a decent chance that would have just been better. So, kind of learning from a lesson from last time, I think we are going to exile a Mirror Retriever. Are we going to blink first? Yes, because I think we do blink first because we want to go again in our. We know in our turn that we're going to be trying to return this. we can actually, I think this is going to work quite well. I think we can actually exile two things. Because this is a heroic trigger when you target, sorry, not when the counters resolve. So you can, so this is in the graveyard. Heroic, bring this back, exile something else. Then put counters on this, return this to our hand. I'm just getting a bunch of life over there, doing a bunch of scrying. It's a shame that we won't actually be able to use that for anything. In fact, we'll have like another card exile, but I don't think it will be an important card. We didn't exactly play around any of their potential spell bombs and so on. But so, exile Mirror Retriever. Travel prep. Target these two. So yeah, I'm not getting anything back with the Evolution Witness trigger. And then I guess we just pump, gate pump this guy. Not doing anything else with the mana. I don't think there was a way to make that lethal. It's annoying that they go to 1. I guess we could have, so it had the Candy Trap then. Yeah, otherwise we could have not sacked the Crypt Keeper first, but again, I don't think there's a world where they the world exists where they don't give the life and whatever. Oh, way too tight. So, Outdoor Tower. Yep. You can gain some life back. So what to use? Some kind of board interaction using black mana. No, destroying a million cards. Again, this being black, like black and our white mana both is so painful. So we can't like Accursed Marauder, recommission, or Accursed Marauder, travel prep it back out. Oh. That's it. There's a non-zero chance we've got him there though. Need to draw a white or a white source. No rules about it. That's kind of a white source. So we can Accursed Marauder. Accursed Marauder to kill a blocker. assume that's the mirror retriever. Gate pump this guy. I guess we gate pump this guy. Smash for lethal. I know we're losing a I know we're losing the Accursed Marauder, yeah. So like this. This. Smoosh. Block here. Oh, you block here, take 11. Yeah. That's it. Oh, we're doing it! Okay, so run this back. There's no way this matchup is any. Like, surely we're just running pretty hot. I guess that, yeah, as opposed to Dredge, where like PMTX are one card at a time, maybe not enough. They are susceptible to getting key cards exiled. So I'm going to keep this. So we've got this turn too. If we hit a good creature, we can recommission it. And that kind of gets us going. So I think we do green, white, at least we've got two white sources. Green, white, black. I think we do white. That's more being tired and trying to make sure I'm not picking like a completely random colour rather than having too in-depth a discussion choice on that. I just think there's more. The fact that our graveyard things require white mana, we're more likely to require multiple white pips in a turn. So, I don't know. Green 1. Yeah, and this way we can recommission if we hit something good. Okay, so we brick, but we do get our recommission target. That's a funny compromise. We've got Accursed Marauders for days. Accursed Marauders sacking our Satyr wayfinders, alright. Opponent has the Urza's Tower to complete the Tron. So I think we just recommission High Priest. Play this as a black-white duel. Kind of all is discussed. Get him for 1. If we don't die, it's possible we die if they've got Mirror Retriever Packdoll, or Mirror Retriever, and Foundry. If we don't die, then hopefully we can find a Crypt Keeper. Obviously the Accursed Marauder is much worse get to go in Foundry than a Packdoll. So add white, homestead courage this, get back the wayfinder. I guess I'll prioritise doing stuff in the graveyard, because then if they have graveyard interaction, we lose less. So it's kind of a miss, I guess, that we've not found our not found a piece of interaction that we're looking for. We can put an Accursed Marauder into play and sack a Satyr wayfinder. Might as well do that from the graveyard. I know, do that from the travel prep for an extra counter here. Yeah, and then just too many basilisk gates, not enough. If this was any other land, I'll be able to what do you call it? Homestead courage again and have another look. So flip over these four. So sack this. Get my counters. Just play the tap land. I think green white again. Sack for 7. Hope we're not dead. We can just have 6, so that's nice. What's this? Packdoll? Okay. Packdoll's not the end of the world, we can deal with Packdoll. So I think we start by just Accursed Maraudering, killing the Packdoll Tower. We can go white, homestead courage, this guy, get back the wayfinder. So we should have done this first, because then we could have sacked this wayfinder as opposed to sacked the Accursed Marauder. So that is a bit of a punt. So now we can get back, so we can travel prep like these two, get back an Accursed Marauder and put this back in the graveyard. Yeah, so we should have been 4 cards deeper, which would have meant that we had 4 extra cards to actually find a way to interrupt their potential combo, whereas most of this doesn't actually matter. Picking off a Packdoll does help, it stops from getting life and so on, but I guess also every turn that we play a Basilisk Gate and not a black or white source, we've got so many Homestead Courages. It's pretty nice that all of these are white pips. And then we're just probably gating something up, aren't we? Breath weapon in the graveyard. Sure. Boy, have we got Accursed Marauders for you. Okay, that's good. Is there a retriever in here? There's not yet. So, we've learnt our lesson. We start off with the Homestead Courage, get back the Wayfinder, just to flip over more cards. Do we, or do we just... have I miscounted here? We just get back the Accursed Marauder, sack one of the other Accursed Marauders, just gate pump a guy, and go to town. I do kind of want to be able to have 2 Crypt Keepers in play if I can. But I can't this turn anyway, right? So the other... Oh, it depends if I find a white source off of the Wayfinder. But I think I'd rather guarantee the gate activation than squabble around with potential, like, find a white source and a Crypt Keeper. So get back this. Sack this. Counter. Play Basilisk. 1. Tap. Pump this. Breath weapon now. Don't mind a breath weapon now. Yeah, and very lucky that this was 3 power, otherwise we'd have been destroyed by bringing back Accursed Marauders. We could have targeted the Wayfinder to avoid this, but I'd rather they do that now and we get to play the Crypt Keeper onto a board where they don't have that in hand. We can attack with the Wayfinder. The worst case is they can kill it with their Golden Foundry creature, but that's true anyway. It's only 3 power, 3 toughness. We have our Crypt Keeper. So I now think we've done it, basically. And I don't think we ever beat their... I don't think we've necessarily beaten their best draws when we've won these games, but it's gone better than I thought it was. When I first played this, it was just green-white, and actually having the Accursed Marauders and Crypt Keepers have really helped. Hilarious that you can't ever cast them, well, it's so messy up your mana so bad. But I'm not a mana base building kind of expert kind of guy. Having my retriever. My foe. They sacked their Ashen's Altar to keep this, which is a sign of their potential desperation. Got the insight in the graveyard they can use. Rumble again. Which map do you want? That's good for us. Now they can't. They have to set the spawn to insight. Oh, we have to do so much. Like, we've got so many options with these 3 Homestead Courage triggers that could get back other Homestead Courages. And the like. Again, I guess we're pretty limited by only having 3 white pips. Do decide to play the map. Oh, if they just get another tower with a mana neutral, they played land. Yeah, they have played land this time. So they decide that they're not going to, block, sack. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? What do we got? So they need to find 3 pieces of their combos, which are an Ashen's Altar, another Mirror Retriever. Sorry, an Ashen's Altar and 2 Mirror Retrievers. What if we take to the skies? We need to give our guy vigilance, which obviously we can definitely do. So, Homestead Courage, this guy. We can just flip an Accursed Marauder into play. Sack it immediately. I think that's good. I think we're not battle screeching, are we? So pump our guy, get back Accursed Marauder. Pump our guy, get back Crypt Keeper. Pump our guy one more time. So we might as well. Oh, we've got the travel prep in here as well. So we're just limited the light sources. We might as well get the wayfinder in play as well, right? That could just find us more stuff to do. Knowing that this guy just gets huge and doesn't. If we use the travel prep, then we can make this guy bigger. So travel prep these 2. Get back Accursed Marauder. Sack Accursed Marauder. You sack a Mirror Retriever. We're probably exiling the Ashen's Altar here. They target a Candy Trail. I think that's fine to go as well. Just -1 card draw. So, Homestead Courage this guy. Get back the Crypt Keeper. Yeah, and so now we've kind of stuck with, we can pump our guy with the gate, because that clears the spawn, and they block the other one. Like it doesn't do more damage. The alternative would be that we courage, get back a wayfinder, which could find more courage. Yeah, I don't know. I feel feel like this wasn't the endpoint we really wanted, that they had to block, because it's not. Well, they don't need to block. I think they probably should have. Don't think this one's worth that much. We've got the prophetic prism to set to the insight and so on. Yeah, I felt like the endpoint should have been that we put a flyer in play, because then we can double, with the double basilisk, we can just kill them with that next turn, basically guaranteed. So killing the Mirror Retriever and exiling, thinking that we might exile National's Altar or remove that card draw wasn't that valuable. Yeah, if it'd just been still probably like travel prep, battle screech. Okay, so we have to take this Mirror Retriever now. Let me take this over the Ashen's Altar. Yeah, because I can't actually kill an National Altar when it's in play, whereas I can actually interact with the Mirror Retriever. So. I believe we've got a double Mirror Retriever, but no Bob. So with the Homestead Courages, we've got 2 Accursed Marauders. Kill both of these, they can only make 1 blocker. Can't do any of this at instant speed. I guess we'll start with the recommission. What's the point of that? Just to be safe. Yeah. Okay, I'm tired, I might be missing something, but so target this, put the Crypt Keeper back in play, just to be safe. White Homestead Courage. Get back to Accursed Marauder. Sack Accursed Marauder. Oh no, this is up to 5 life and we've only got 4 power. Oh, we've not done it. We've not done it because we put the stupid Crypt Keeper in play. And they've got a Candy Trap now. I can't believe that. In my head there was still a 2. What if we pump this guy? No, that still doesn't work. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, definitely should have just taken the time to think that through. So, okay, so they block. Okay, so I can Crypt Keeper exile their Mirror Retriever. And then recommission, bring back this Crypt Keeper. And then exile the other one. And then they've only got one in their deck, which is not enough to loop. Okay. That was so bad. Obviously, again, we need to target this if they put a Mirror Retrieve on the stack. We don't want to have them put one in play and then we target it, they sacrifice. But it might be worth keeping our guy in play as an extra attacker. Bottom. Gain 3 life, draw a card. Rumble. We'll find another altar. We've not found their 4th Retriever. Again, I believe that, yeah, 2 are exiled. I can't believe we messed up that last turn. That was so silly. All it would have taken would have been not to put this in play and instead to Homestead Courage this one time. So the trick is we need to exile this Mirror Retriever now. We're letting them have any other artifact in their graveyard with this Mirror Retriever, but they can't loop things. So like they can put Pact on into play. Maybe this is wrong, but I think it's pretty sure it's right. And now we probably just make a flyer of them. So yeah, I kind of just want to make the flyers. Let's cast this first. I can't believe it. So you can draw 2. I just don't think you're going to be able to gain enough life with the Pact Dolls. I guess there's a Breath Weapon in the deck. But we know that we've got another Screech after this as well. I take a Candy Trap. I guess that's digging for a Breath Weapon. Maybe we turn that. Don't have anything for the turn this time. Okay, I don't think there's another Mirror Retriever effect. If there is, obviously we've goofed massively. They would need to be able to put a pack dot in play as well to give us this turn, otherwise we're still fighting to kill them in the air. Weather the storm or something. Fangren could get a lot of life. As is, they're just drawing a bunch of cards. Oh. I was thinking it was going to be a quick round. And obviously they're not out of mana because they've got 4 golems signed up and stored up, and each one has 2 mana. So I think they're just looking for a breath weapon. I might ask them. I will have drawn the deck. I'm interested to know the answer to this. I don't think they play another. I know they play ways to find their retreat, but I don't think they find another way to return stuff. Anyway, that's that for tonight. So 2-1 for the first 3 matches, beating Ultratron twice, which we didn't have on our cards. And then I actually can't remember what we lost to. Oh, it was Fairies, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we definitely could have won against the. If we didn't run into the mutagenic growth. At 4 in the morning, and again, I think this is right at the bottom end of what we could ever keep, but I'm going to. There's lots of good draws, I guess. We've kind of got something of a combo with Travel Prep and the GW Witness. We can cast our spells. What's not to like? We don't do anything on turn 2. We don't really affect the board on turn 3. Other than that. Okay, so we do get to make a turn 2 play. The recommissioned evolution witness, if it gets counted, is pretty nice too. And then this is a matchup they don't play that much removal for an evolution witness. And then Accursed Marauder's hopefully going to be a house. So we're just going to spam this, expecting it gets countered, and then we'll try and find a path for our recommission later on. That'll be the one that we kind of care more about resolving. So it does get countered. The Obviously, Spell Pierce does make it potentially tricky to get something through. If they miss a land drop, we find ours with nothing. So I'm for finding a land drop and nothing. If you don't find a land drop, so we can pass back and do nothing, because none of the cards in hand do anything, or we can just risk a Spell Pierce. I think the chance of them being tapped lower in the future is pretty low. If we spend our mana on recommission now and then find something else on a later turn, that's good too. So I'm going to go for it. It resolves. That's very good. Obviously, with the recommission coming back, it's meaning a counter, so we pick it. Based on that, I think we're in a very good position. Obviously, if this got countered, we just had nothing going on. They could put this back on top of our deck, they could tap it. They're not very good at actually putting it back in the graveyard when we can't recast it. The other thing to watch out for is like we play Accursed Marauder, they have some instant speed way of bouncing it, so we have to sacrifice something else. You know, if we draw a what's it called? Satyr Wayfinder effect, that would be pretty nice. Otherwise it's just Accursed Marauders all the way down. What we're looking at, 8 Accursed Marauders, sorry, 9 in our hand, right? In an ideal world. Again, when I used to play Torch, this deck was reminding me a lot of Torch Resistance when I used to play that. The challenge would be whenever, you know, you'd have quite a good match against Blue Tower, apart from when they just, you know, had enough. If they drip fed you snakes, you were fine. Even if it was later on and they saved up like 4 in a go, instead of playing them, you know, as early as they could, that's when you got into a bit of trouble because your mana, you had a lot of card advantage, but your mana would get bound up pretty tightly. I'm having a think on the brainstorm. Plays another Delver. So we're just going to Accursed Marauder that again. I don't think. Right, they might run Snap, I don't think they run over 1 mana. That spell. We can Homestead Courage of a guy. Again, they can Spell Pierce this, but we have plenty of this going on. We don't need all of those. Now that this is in play, the Spell Pierce much less scary. So what? We've missed our land drops. We're not really advanced our board that much, but we got in for 4. Got a counter. Used half a card on 3 mana. So this can go second from top. And this one to choose white. And so they need to basically play a 1 mana snake and leave up counterspell, right? Or just leave up counterspell. So with counterspell being they need to clear out the witness, we'll feed them a different spell. So they've only got so many counterspells in their deck. Their passing not using any mana is great for us. We're just going to start. We can double travel prep. If they both resolve, that'd be 6 power. If they both resolved again, that'd be 10. That makes 16. And then if opponent's having to, I don't know, think about leaving up mana for a counterspell each time, It could be tricky for them. A double snake. I guess we just Marauder and recommission, right? Just stop them having anything going on. That kind of deals with their velocity turn of too many snakes in one go. Ideally, we'd have been able to Marauder, replay the Witness whilst the coast is clear, but if they decided to take the shields down that turn, they might well do the same again. Okay, so shields are back down. If we found a land, I'd be very happy to have played the Town Greeter and untapped land. Or just a white creature so we can flashback a battle screech would be good. Otherwise it's Witness, pick up a guy. I'm pretty okay with just Witness, pick up a guy. Again, I don't want to be in like a straight racing situation with them. That seems like we could get ourselves in trouble by committing ourselves to something and they have a removal spell and it kind of breaks the parity. Whereas even if they bounce this, they'd have to bounce this, counter the Marauder, and then be able to chump block for a bit. No Sleep of the Dead still, to mess up our combat maths. We're not blocking. Again, maybe don't want to play too many lands because we've got all of these. This is going second from the top, right? And then we are probably going to mill it over with our Town Greeter. In which case, maybe it just goes to the bottom. Because I definitely want to play the Town Greeter, I think. Because again, the alternative is we try and get into a race situation. Alright, it's gone. Another Screech. Would we rather have an Accursed Marauder in play or a Town Greeter? Seems like we'd rather have the Town Greeter. So I have the Marauder than the Greeter. So let's play this. Love a land. What, maybe this is bad if they have actual Force Spike? We miss a land. We do find a land. I've said coach here, attack for 3. Go to 9. I think we just take 6. I'm not too worried about playing around a unblockable effect. By not blocking, it puts us just, we've got options to just kill them. That's a travel prep and a courage. Obviously they don't have a block of those. So if we travel prep, trying to think whether the distribution of counters is going to matter. Point is, we're going to have one guy with vigilance at the end. So this one will be lethal if they don't have anything. So they'd have to use a counter here. Okay. Well, I guess we might as well give our guy vigilance so that we have... I guess giving our guy vigilance is a matter. If they've got a snap, they can... If they've got a way of removing it from combat, it works with vigilance or without. But I don't think they tend to play that effect. Like, they either play Demon Fury or a, like, War Boomerang kind of thing, or Snap. They don't tend to play both. So. Got there on the ground. So for this matchup, we want Accursed Marauder, we want as many Nightshade Peddlers as we can. Scattershot Archer is kind of our admission that we can't really, obviously mostly varies, but we can't really be a Murmuring Mystic. Don't think we're after Crypt Keepers. So I think this is a definitely, well, as much definitely as a Nightshade Peddler can be. Maybe. Oh. Cat's not bad still. Had some Lunar Veterans. Don't know if we can cut some of the travel preps. And only run one scattershot. So if we mill over, we've got access to that effect. We don't want it like... I don't want it that badly. And then I'm just going to keep my count of ways to find lands and mill cards over really high. And cut another Lunar Veteran. This is kind of saying that we're minimizing the mill value, just do some valuable thing, like get some value plan, and maximize if we stick one of these 8s. Not the tightest sideboarding you've ever seen. I feel like I could definitely improve on my sideboarding as a general, Magic skill. But yeah, Accursed Marauder is a house when it works. I'd say it's very much like the Tort-Ex deck where you're like, okay, so unkeepable. But yeah, it's very much like Tort-Ex deck where you can pick your spell and cast it a whole bunch of times. The problem is that can be very mana intensive. So I'm going to put back the GW Witness. I've had better hands. So this guy works very well with a Accursed Marauder if we find one. Guess we'll lead on the Veteran. That way we always gain 1 life next turn. So no green source could definitely be a bit awkward going forwards. But we are on course for many turns of jump walking with a scaredy cat. We've also got a bunch of black cards we don't really want to draw. We've got 6 gates to kind of make our deck function. Yeah, the whole like 18 lands, 8-way split cards into the graveyard, so you actually miss like a scarily high amount of the time. I don't think we can afford to just gate for 1 damage. I think we're going to play the first High Priest into a likely counterspell. Are we? I think because we've got the backup. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to stick. But, you know, equally it doesn't actually do anything on this board, so. They could just be saying, you know, it can demon inferiority at a later point. How close are we to just discarding to hand size? I think we get the other High Priest down. Or try to. Okay, so definitely not spot. Moment Mystic beats us basically on the spot. Other than that, like, you know, we can jump block 1 snake for a very long time. And slowly our guy goes when we put counters on him. Double Demon Fairy would be awkward. Just like actual plow under. Put all your lands low down. You know, just keep you drawing things other than the thing you want to draw for a really long time. Okay. What do you think about Death Touch? And the answer can't be, that's fine, because, sorry, the answer can't be you don't like it, because we've got a lot of this effect. I love it. I think I'm going to prioritise putting the Death Touch and play Soul Bond with the Lunar Veteran. Concede to the Nightshade Peddler. Just got him. Amazing. So we have 1 on our chesty, but can we go 4-1? Gunnar Mulligan doesn't have the green source. I think we keep going. Okay, so we just need to find a land in the top of the 2 cards. Keep this. Put back. Evolution Witness. Evolution Witness. Wayfinder or the Veteran? I guess the Wayfinder. We have 1. That just has to be enough. Beggars can't be choosers at this point, right? This is going to be like Cycle Storm, we can never beat. have anything. And you do not really have anything. Okay. Well, this can be a quick round. I'm somewhat struggling for our choice of Graveyard Haven side. Oh, you get to do the thing though. Yeah, so I did have a bunch of Thraben charms previously, but I switched these because of the spy deck being able to. So the Accursed Marauder is dealing with the creatures, and the spy deck can Mesphine them out of your hand, so I wanted something that's set in play. See, the idea that you need two of these in play to like pick out both Lord Earth Giants is potentially troublesome, but having access to black mana does not seem very valuable. So opponent's going on turn 4. I might put a flag when the opponent ends comboing. But yeah, I mean, we've really got nothing for this matchup, so we are basically relying on them completely fizzling both times, like twice, if that makes sense. Like they have to completely fizzle in 2 different games for us to win. So I will probably just let this to the end of the combo turn. So yep, they've got their round 1, game 1. We can sideboard. I guess this does interact, but it's pretty thin on the ground, isn't it? I think our best chance is that we just bluff Thraben Charm. But I'm not sure I've got the... I can get on with other stuff in my day if we don't try that too hard. So let's just bring these in. Maybe if they don't find enough cyclers, we can do something. Yeah, we could pretend to hold up Thraben Charm, and then make them, if it was a real tournament, that would be the line. Make them want to try and play around it, and potentially just buy ourselves enough time to do something, because obviously when they know that we have lethal, they'll just go for it anyway. Instead of having all 4, we'll play our first 4 turns and then get out. And does not look like they are low on cyclers and low on resources. They're Dark Witchling to just get through their hand more quickly. So this one will choose black. We don't have anything to flip over, so I'm just going to spew a bit. And this is probably bad. But yeah, this is proper bringing a, what do you call it? Bringing a knife to a gunfight, isn't it? A knife is probably a stretch, bring a spoon. Cool. Opponent is going at the end of their turn 3. We get we could have held up the 2 mana there, pretend it's Thraben Charm, but all that means is that we have to play more turns of our game. So Reaping the Graves, they didn't get many cards back. My new read on this is that they are kind of aware of how good a matchup this looks on paper, and is kind of just limit testing. I wouldn't think, I've been playing a bit of Cycle Storm, I wouldn't think, yeah, if you got the both and the other songs, so if they had the 2 Reaping the Graves and the 2 songs, maybe that makes sense to do the first reap, but Reaping with a strong hand of 2 seems very low. Right, we will be back when we are dead. So, we're not dead, so we get to... They've conceded? No, don't make us go again. I was going to say, they could definitely just do this next turn. All we're doing is playing a 2-3 and attacking. Oh no, there were 3. They did too many string rates. Okay, that makes sense. Right, back we go. I guess we're just clicking submit deck. See, whether opponent was trying to play around Thraben Charm like game, or was just limit testing, who knows. Gonna mulligan, at least get a hand that does something. We'll keep this at the Bell Screech. Trying to work out whether we play, actually trying to play optimally. We can play the Lunar Veteran turn 1, or we can put this in play. What I'm thinking is, in our best draws we have a 3-drop we want to play on turn 3. So maybe being able to make sure we play the Crypt Keeper beforehand is better. The Lunar Veteran will get in for a couple of points damage by then. Right. I think there's an argument to be made for playing this so that we have our black source. We're not playing this on turn 4 when the game is over. But I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to play the route 1, curve out as best we can. Okay, opponent doesn't have a second land. Could we steal one here? No black mana specifically means that they'd not be able to do ritual things. Okay, they've got black mana. That was just poor timing. And now they've got permanent black mana. Whoa. So I think we're probably playing the Wayfinder. Playing the Mana Gate. As a black land. Again, potential that we bluff a Thraben Charm there, but and off we go again. And we will skip through there. But just to confirm, we do lose this game. We just F6 for everything. Unsurprising, but that's the wrap up of our league. Right, so we are on the playing round in game 3. This is a mulligan. This is a keep. Might not look like it, but I guess we put back one of the travel preps. Again, we're hoping that we have a load of redundancy on that effect. through all the cards in the graveyard. And we have a town greeter, and we will cross our fingers finds us white mana. And if it does, you know, white mana and another town greeter, we could be off to the races. Is there a white mana source in the top 5 cards? Or top 4 plus the one we drew? Yes, there is. And a wayfinder, so that's worked out quite nice. We don't have anything to do next turn. That's a bit of a shame, but again, I'm not convinced I've got the number of different lands sorted or correct in terms of the white sources, green sources, and tap lands. But if we think if this league goes well, let's say the last one we were 4-0 and then lost the finals, then we might take a look at sorting the mana out. So love another town greeter. This looks like another count. This looks like they've got counterspell, but I'm kind of happy with them countering Monsieur Greeter. Unsurprisingly, they don't. We do hit another land. Nothing as good in this slot, but you know the lands. Can't look a gift horse in the mouth. What? Yeah, that's the saying, isn't it? Yeah. So we've lost 2 recommissions that would have been good with our Evo Witness, but oh well. And then we could play a High Priest, but we don't actually have but we can't trigger it straight away. But we will take the opportunity to resolve him. Just play another white source. We'll be happy to chump block. Again, we've got the first wayfinder in the graveyard, but you can always use more. Opponent is deep analysis, so if they are trying to outgrind us, I think that's fine. If they're using it to find more terrors and more velocity, we might be in a bit more trouble, but they've only got 3 instants of sorceries in there currently. I think we just snap block. It's very reasonable that we could trigger this twice this turn. And it looks like they might be going for another snake. So we will see how much we go off in quotation marks. I'm looking forward to this turn. Again, it's a shame that we don't have like really powerful 2-drops. Oh, they could bounce this, I guess, but then we could still, yeah. So second on the top. We do want to draw them again. Okay. Ooh, that's all right. That's not a bad draw. So let's play the Evolution Witness and just hardways adapt him to find the other Evo Witness. We could travel prep. It seems like we don't need to. Like we can just adapt for free. And then I'm kind of happy to just keep this guy back. I guess it's just a free point at the end of the day. We've got 2 of these effects in the graveyard. Putting the 3rd one in does just seem a bit greedy. But now that we have, an Evolution Witness or indeed the High Priest in play, the fact that we've now got so many, like each of these is 2 unearthed as well. The flashback. Feel pretty good. Into an army of snakes. So if we play the High Priest, they can just counter it. if we use 2 mana first, they can't really interact with that, or we get to play the High Priest. So let's just do this to start. I'm probably just going to pick up the land. Then just play a High Priest anyway. If we're playing a High Priest anyway, we could have done it. I was going to say no, we couldn't do it the other way around because then they would spell pierce. No, because they'd have been tapped out, so they couldn't have spell pierce. The other alternative is just put another counter on these two and play the cat. So are we blocking next turn? I think so, because of Sleep of the... if we get the chance, I think we're blocking because of Sleep of the Dead and because of the Demon Inferior. So that means that if we play the High Priest and they counter it, we can Evolution Witness pick it up, but their tempo is, strong enough. That doesn't sound amazing. So then the kind of better tempo play would be Cat and Travel Prep. Again, pick up another Greeter. I don't absolutely hate that. It does make me wish that I'd picked up the Greeter already, not this land, but so let's... No, I do want to Travel Prep onto the Cat for the extra life, I think. Oh, did I miss tap? Yeah, when I played the Travel Prep, I just had a million. I must have used 2 white sources for that, or 1 white source for that and 1 forest. Oh, okay. That's a bit awkward. We have to do it from hand now. That's a bit awkward, especially not realizing. Pick up another Greta. Oh, that's a good one. Very, well, not very topical at the minute, but topical some more recently. And then we'll just pass back. So we have a 6/5 now. If we wait another turn, we've got the option that it outgrows the terrors, which is tempting, but it sticking in play is quite risky. Unlikely. Obviously, it looks strangely like we may have been very lucky in game 1 that the deck kind of crapped out, and then, under quite a lot of pressure in the games 2 and 3, which isn't a great place to be. This doesn't seem that bad though. Okay, they're holding up the counterspell again. Like if they tap down this as well, we block here, go to 5. When I said it didn't seem that bad, it does seem quite bad, doesn't it? Oh, hello. So, can we afford to greet her first? I don't think so. I think we're still just dead to a spell pierce for another counterspell, right? We can try and strands, but we can't make a white creature to flash it back. So we play the High Priest, they counterspell. Then we hold up 3 mana and die to the second counter. Well, I guess we do it in their upkeep and minimize the number of draws. Or alternatively, we play like Town Greeter, see what we can find, but I don't think that's getting better for us. Yeah, this is a shame. I don't know whether there was a big. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to resolve. Now it's tempting to try and play the game, which would be for 2 mana. I guess no, that's actually just better as another prismatic strands. Are we strandsing in their upkeep or letting them draw? I think things. I might be wrong, but I think things are like good enough for us if we survive with the strands that we do it now. Again, 2 counters though. Okay, just everything's coming up. Never said mine. Don't say your username. Everything's coming up with love crayons. Again, with them drawing 7 lands. And 3 more cards after that. If they bounce that, we're back into some trouble. Delver's not as scary. Now that's tempting. Tempting fate, but tempting. So, because that's just so much tempo. I think we're just gonna start preparing ourselves. If we grow this, I know it's just gonna get hit by the Sleep of the Dead, but if they didn't spend the mana to sleep it, we would get to block profitably. And you can just pick up one of the extra greeters. So this one finds a battle screech that we're going to struggle to cast. But I guess the gate's also not bad now. Oh, now we get the counters. We could even pick up planes here. It's very tempting to play the High Priest so that we can screech. They counter the screech, then we can't strand, so it'd have to be pretty sure on that. So, play High Priest. We'd have 2 mana up still for Screech, actually. Or we could repeat some travel prep shenanigans first. I think I'm pretty happy with playing High Priest. Guess we'll play the gate. White, 1 green. So currently they can tap 2 guys. If we were to screech counter pay, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. They're still fine, as well as the strands. Okay, we're just getting everything, which is kind of good and kind of worrying. I guess we're going to greet now then to try and fill up the graveyard before we try and travel prep again. That's just another Homestead Courage, another Screech so we can cast from the graveyard as well. Okay. Things seem to be going okay. I feel like that would have been a more impressive turn if we'd have played it quicker. The fact that we spent about 5 minutes, about 3 turns worth of time on it, meant it was actually kind of hard to track how much we did achieve. What did we do? We got back 2 guys to our hand. We screeched. We drew some cards off of the Satyrs. Did we play another High Priest as well? Yeah, I mean we did like 4 things. We'd love to have found one of the Lunar Veterans, just to give us a bit of life buffer. I guess we've got the Scaredy Cat as well. We could, fling a gate on that, and that buys us quite a buffer. If they try and tap both of our bird tokens, do we? So Songs of the Damned, Sleep of the Dead, Sleep of the Dead, Songs of the Damned. Then I think we'd have to screech so they can't tap our guy. Less worried about this now. Agree that they to make progress. So kind of agree they have to tap that. If we can put one of these in the graveyard, that's more food for the travel prep. Target 2 High Priests, just go nuts. Though it would actually be quite nice to put one of those in the graveyard, wouldn't it? More snakes. Okay. Snakes is fine. Murmur Mystic, challenges are going nuts. So do you want to screech for their last mana? That's a shame. Oh no, so we do have to block just in case. I think we do screech. Because if we just get to keep 3 blockers, that's so much so we do strands, because we get to keep these, that's so much. I guess tempo is not an inaccurate word for it. I do spell pierce, but that's fine. So this is going to be silly. So I think we start off with get back to just 2 dudes. Mill 8. Find some scaredy cats. Find some more battle screechers. So I'm going to Homestead Courage to put the Lunar Veteran in play as well. Let's put this up to a 5/6. Put this into play. So we can just play the Sacred Cat. Do you want to do some wayfinding or evolution witnessing? I'm happy to just play the cat. Then Screech. Yeah, okay. So we can tap one of these to Screech again. Then we can play the Wayfinder.